This may hurt a little bit, but I'm still going to share with you. You are where you are right now simply because you want to be where you are. You are at the foot of the mountain simply because you have elected to be there and to remain there. No one is keeping you down. You've chosen consciously or unconsciously to stay where you are. Because those who make it to the mountaintop are no more special than you are. They don't have any special powers, any special connection, or any special access to some holy place that give them permission to just jet propel themselves to the mountaintop. No such a thing. They are where they are simply because either themselves, they made at one point the decision to simply propel themselves to the mountaintop and stay there, or because they've simply learned to actually be at the mountaintop and stay there. Success is always intentional. It is always a choice. If you are at the bottom, no one is keeping you down. You have simply chosen and elected to put yourself down and to keep yourself down. Someone said to me, Dimitri, but this is a bit too extreme. Yeah, I can definitely share something with you to actually illustrate my point. And I know right now it's election time in Nigeria. So this may be the wrong time to actually use this example, because from what I understand, many people are still very upset with the result of the election in Nigeria. But I'm still going to use the example of Nigeria. In 1821, was born a young man who came to be known in the books of history as Jaja of Opobo, King Jaja of Opobo. This young man had a very peculiar story. Why? Because as he was born, he was sold into slavery to some people. And as he was growing up, he was eventually sold to a king who decided to actually groom him and to mentor him to actually become his next in command when it comes to trading palm oil. And from that point, sky became the limit. The young man simply took it upon himself to learn as much as possible so he could master the art and the science of actually selling palm oil. To the point where by the time the king was actually deceased, he was appointed as the successor. When something happened, people said, no, we can't actually have as a king right now someone who came into our kingdom as a slave. So they kicked him out. And the young man simply said, yes, it's okay. You can kick me out. You can decide to put me down. But I'm still going to actually put myself on the pedestal because I know I have skills and connection that you don't possess. I know more specifically, I have the will to see something completely different, to see myself differently. I perceive myself differently. And from that point, he went on now to build his own kingdom that he came to call Opobo. So King Jaja of Opobo is a kingdom that was actually built by someone who basically was actually almost quote unquote born into slavery, sold as a slave to a king who mentored him. He was able to succeed the king, but people became jealous. People say, no, you can't be king over us. The gentleman people say, if that's the case, I'm going to move on and be a king over my own empire. And that's what he did. But the story is not so much about the fact he was actually sold into slavery. The story is not so much about the jealousy that he actually suffered when he actually went to see his mentor. And when his mentor said, you're going to be the next after me. That's not the story. The story is the story about a man who simply said to himself, I perceive myself differently. And therefore, I'm going to choose to see myself at the mountaintop. And what did he do? As he started actually trading palm oil, sending palm oil out of Nigeria, exporting it to different parts of the world, he said to himself, there is a country known as Britain. They call themselves the Great Britain. I'm going to make sure, as I'm trading Great Britain, I'm going to make sure I deal directly with the buyers in London. I'm not going to be dealing with middlemen, and I'm going to make sure that my oil is always actually going right there to London and not going through middlemen. And of course, all the middlemen would have said, what kind of man is this? Everyone is coming to us as middlemen, but why is this man wanting to see himself as, my goodness, worthy of dealing directly with London? But here's where I think it's a bit spicier. In 1884, 1885, 1886, 87, when this gentleman, the name of von Bismarck, Chancellor von Bismarck out of Germany, said to himself, as the new man in charge of all the world powers as far as the world is concerned, I'm going to call a conference in Berlin, and I'm going to actually gather all these leaders, and we're going to decide how we're going to now share the continent of Africa. And that's what they did. And by the time it was done, it was decided in Berlin that Nigeria and all other kingdoms within Nigeria were now going to belong to the Great Britain. So with this decision, any transaction when it comes to selling palm oil and to go directly to all the middlemen working on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. But King George of Opobo simply said, no, I don't know this man by the name of Van Bismarck. I don't know all this words that actually decided to gather in Berlin. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still in charge of my business. I'm going to continue selling my palm oil directly to London, Babayos. And of course, that led to a problem, and that led eventually to him being tricked to move to London to see the Queen, and eventually being sent to jail in St. Vincent. And when he was actually being sent back to Nigeria, something happened. People speculate he was actually poisoned because he never made it back to Nigeria because he died in 1891. So from 1821 to 1891, the gentleman simply stand as a testament to remind us that as far as life is concerned, we are always actually watching a movie. We are always listening to music. But the key question is, what kind of music are you listening to? Or what kind of movies are you watching? Because those who make it to the top are intentional to simply select and to simply say, no, as far as I'm concerned, I know exactly what kind of movies I'll be watching on a daily basis. I know exactly what kind of music I'll be listening to on a daily basis. Everyone around me may choose to listen to all the negative music out there, saying that yes, you were born into slavery, you were sold into slavery, you are this, you are that, so therefore the system want to keep it, and they can listen to that all day long. That's their prerogative. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to make sure that my ears are discerning to only pay attention to the stories that actually, my goodness, strengthen the narrative I have in my head that I am royalty. Number one. Number two, I can decide to, yes, watch the same movies as everybody else as far as what life is actually giving us. But I refuse to simply be one of the guys, to be one of the girls out there just listening or watching or mindlessly all these negative movies. I'm going to build my own movies. I'm going to be focusing on the images. I'm going to feed my mind. And these images, it's images of royalty. And from that point, my friend, this is how it went on to make history. And to prove my point that yes, success is always a decision. Success is not someone actually trying to put you down. Success is simply one deciding I'm going to make it to the top because this is where I belong. Because once you make that decision, my friend, you're simply going to become unstoppable. All right, I'm going to stop you right now. But before I go, 4 key things I can ask you to do. Number one, please make sure to like this video. Number two, please make sure to leave a comment in the comment section so I can know where you're watching me from. Number three, please make sure to share this video with as many people as possible. Last but not least, please make sure to subscribe so we can continue to grow together, and make sure, of course, to hit the notification bell so next time we put together a video, you can be amongst the first one to see the video. All right, love you so much. The best is yet to come, but as I keep saying, in order for the best to be manifested, you and I have to remain simply intentional when it comes to the type of movies we allow ourselves to watch, and when it comes to the type of sound, the type of music we're going to be listening to on a daily basis. If everyone is talking about how life is depressing right now, let them talk about it, because that's your prerogative, but that's not where you're supposed to be. Just focus on listening to music that tell you a paint a different story. Number one. Number two, if everyone's just focusing on all the negative movies out there, that's your prerogative. So just focus on watching, oh my goodness, the story, a movie is telling you that yes, it is possible, and you're going to make it to the, because that's where you belong. And see how, my friend, this is going to actually translate you from where you are now all the way to the top and keep you there, because it's all about intentionality. All right, love you so much. I'm out.